La composition de départ de l'équipe de Finlande, le numéro 70, 70, Korpisalo, le numéro 60, 60, Anka, le numéro 500, 5, 55, Otama, le numéro 33, 33, Anikainen, le numéro 24, 24, Ayunen, le numéro 62, 62, Ozala. La composition de départ de l'équipe de Suisse, the starting line for Switzerland, le numéro 63, 62, Giovanni, le numéro 16, 16, Diaz, le numéro 54, 54, Führer, le numéro 70, 70, Hollenstein, le numéro 92, 92, Haas, le numéro 8, 8, Praplan.
Welcome back to Paris and the second game here today on this Sunday. Leonardo Giannoni was the story for the Swiss in their win over Canada. Stopped all 35 in relief of Jonas Hiller as the Swiss came back from 2-0 down and win that game 3-2 in overtime. And for the Finns, it has been a roller coaster ride. They opened with a win against Belarus. They led 2-0, finally won it 3-2. Then they lost to France for the first time ever against the Czechs. They lost a shootout in a game they led 3-0. Trailed Slovenia 1-5-2. Then played Norway. Trailed, led, then trailed again, scored the tying goal with 29 seconds left, and won it in overtime.
Never dull.
Never dull with the Finns. And Lauri Marjamäki, the 39-year-old, has aged about 10 years in this tournament.
There's not been anything really that's gone right for the Finns. They came in as a team that had been on as a country that had been on a really good roll until of late, where they went flat at the World Cup, scored just 1 goal in the 3 games there under Marjamäki. The World Junior Tournament, all of a sudden this aggressive Finnish style of play was gone. It's now passive, it's more defensive, it's more reactive, and we've seen much the same here, Gord, throughout the tournament.
By the way, starting on right wing for the Finns is Markus Hannikainen. In that game, Ati Otama against Norway was assessed a 2-minute minor and 10-minute misconduct for a check to the head. Hannikainen served his penalty as Leinen works in, and Jani Leinen slides that just wide. Hannikainen stepped out of the box in overtime and promptly scored the winner against Norway.
Leinen had a terrific chance about 10 seconds into the game. The Swiss opened up a big seam in the middle of the ice. It went right through it and had a really good scoring chance.
Now Julius Honka with a long shot, and the save is made by Giannoni, and right away some traffic in the Swiss crease as Honka's in there, along with Oscar Ossola.
Leonardo Giannoni was quite the story in relief against Canada. Jonas Hiller gave up 2 goals on 10 shots. Giannoni came in relief and went 35 for 35. He was perfect in relief against Canada. An outstanding performance that allowed the Swiss to come back and win the game in overtime.
Hiller not even dressed as the backup tonight. Niklas Schlegel is the backup goaltender. Back at the point, Topi Jakala finds Sebastian Aho. The Swiss have had some adventures of their own in this tournament. They opened with a 4-0 lead in the first period against Slovenia. Slovenes scored 4 straight in that game to force overtime. Swiss finally won it in a shootout.
The Swiss have scored 3 goals at least in every game in this tournament. They've always been a team that struggles to score, yet plays really well defensively. Patrick Fischer's team has been better offensively, I think, than we might have expected.
They were up 2-1 and 3-2 against France, lost that one in a shootout. Trailed 2-0 to Canada, came back to win that in a shootout. 7 of Switzerland's 14 games the last 2 years of the World Championship have gone past regulation. Brought ahead now by Miro Aaltonen. Aaltonen moves up to play right wing with Jonas Kemppainen and Mika Pirala in place of Jesse Puljujärvi, the healthy scratch tonight for the Finns.
I was surprised after 5 periods where he didn't get into the tournament, and then he made a real impact when he finally got in there in the first game. Puljujärvi seemed to have trouble having any pace to his game. He was on the outside when he had the puck. He didn't create anything. Really surprising to me, and shows there's lots of work for the 20-year-old in front of him.
Meanwhile, Dennis Malga, number 62, is back in the Swiss lineup after being a scratch against Canada, and that long shot taken there by Romain Leffel is stopped by Eunice Korpisalo.
Korpisalo's played 4 of the 5 games, given up 12 goals and 104 shots for the Finns, and came into the tournament as the number 1 guy, and he's going to go out as the number 1 guy. Harry Sateri played just the 1 game, gave up 2 goals on 14 shots against Slovenia.
Sweden with an early lead on Denmark at the game being played in Cologne. Joel Lundqvist, the twin brother of Henrik, scored the goal.
And Henrik is in goal tonight for the Swedes. That's got to be pretty awesome for the brothers to look down the ice and see your brother score the first goal of the game. The Swedes will be a major factor likely in this tournament before it's played out.
Poke ahead by Fabrice Herzog. He scored the first and last Swiss goals against Canada. Both backhands, both roof jobs. The 5th round pick of Toronto in 2013.
He looked like a goal scorer. Those were his first 2 points of the tournament.
That's gloved by Giannoni. He'll hang on. Giannoni leads the tournament in save percentage at .957. We have a penalty here against the Swiss, a charging call. That'll go against Tanner Richard.
The Swiss didn't really help themselves at all yesterday. Took a couple of penalties that were undisciplined. The penalty is up at the top of your screen at center ice, and it's another poor penalty for the Swiss to take.
Tanner Richard, a native of Markham, Ontario. His dad, Mike, played a long time in Switzerland.
Finns 3 power play goals in the tournament. The Swiss have given up 4 power play goals against.
And Pynan feeds it in, poked away by Giannoni. Eitan Haas now with it. And Pierrala plays that back, but the pass missed as he's trying to find Miro Aaltonen. Honka. Back across to Valtteri Filppula. Filppula across the line for Rantanen, the plays offside at the Swiss line.
Mikko Rantanen had a terrific rookie season, and he's come to this tournament. He's got 6 points in the 5 games, and there is Lauri Marjamäki, 39 years old, and it's been a trying season for him, starting at the World Cup and now culminating here. Nothing seems smooth with the Finns this time around, and that's really not been part of the way they've played. They've always been aggressive, always in your face, and they've just not played like that in the last couple international events.
They were kind of the favorite underdog at the World Cup. They scored 1 goal in 3 games, outscored 9-1. They were home before the postcards. Sebastian Aho.
People send postcards anymore?
It's an expression. Aho centers at 7, and a shot turned away by Giannoni.
There's Giannoni again. He continues his fine play as Savanainen, who has a power play goal in this tournament, is in a real good spot in the middle. Watch him wander into a little bit of a soft area. The Swiss don't close this chance down, but Giannoni makes the stop again.
Off the face-off, back to the point it goes to Ville Laine. His shot deflects off a stick, and now Rantanen centers it. 30 seconds to go in this Finnish power play. That's back down to Korpisalo. Ville Laine on this Finnish national team, along with his brother Jani. Goes rink wide for Rantanen, trying to walk in. Savanainen. Back to Lehtinen. Ville Laine to Sebastian Aho. Aho swings that back to Lehtinen. Hard shot by Ville Laine, turned away there by Giannoni. And now Intersander plays it up on the stick of Richard as he steps out of the box. Richard centers it. Here comes Herzog, scores! Fabrice Herzog snaps it home, and again, Herzog sparks the Swiss.
Herzog had no points in the tournament coming into yesterday's game against Canada. Now he's got 3 goals in the last 4 periods. Untersander's just clearing this puck out of the zone, but it's right to Tanner Richard, who's come out of the penalty box. Herzog jumps in front of Andreas Ambuel here to take the puck out his backhand. And before this is shut down by Topi Jakala, he beats Korpisalo up over the glove. Korpisalo starts to sink back in the net. You see him lose his angle. His right foot's outside the post. Herzog gets him over the glove. And the Swiss, after a penalty kill, score the game's first goal.
3 goals for Herzog, all 3 right under the bar. And the Swiss have a 1-0 lead. Lassi Kukkonen, the Finnish captain, goes back. He's missed the last couple of games for them with injury. Dressed but didn't play in one of them. And Ocelot knocks it out for the Finns. Swiss looking for their 3rd win in a row. Host team France pulling hard for the Swiss in this game. With that shot by Honka is stopped by Giannone. The French would be eliminated from quarterfinal competition if the Finns pick up 2 or more points in this game.
There's the clear by Untersander, a nice play up to Tanner Richard. And Herzog dances into the middle of the ice, and it's now old hat for him.
Played 1 year in the Quebec Major Junior League for the Quebec Remparts.
3 goals on 5 shots. The analytics people will tell you that's not sustainable.
Tell him that. Good say,
when you're hot, shoot it, shoot it, shoot it, no matter where you are. What a couple of days for him. 22 years old, he plays in Zurich in the Swiss League. He had 9 goals all year. Now he's got 3 in 4 periods. And that allows the Swiss fans to get up and sing.
Now a steal by Hollenstein, and away comes Dennis Hollenstein. Works in, shoots from a sharp angle, and this time Korpisalo has it. Herzog has the game-opening goal, 1-0 the Swiss lead Finland here in Paris. Two-year-old Fabrice Herzog, a veteran of the Swiss national junior program, which has shown great improvement in recent years. One of the issues in Swiss hockey in previous years was the number of imports in their league, and because they're not a member of the EU Customs Union, they were taking in players from Russia, Sweden, Finland as imports.
Now they've locked down 4 imports per team. Can play. They can have as many as 8
on the roster.
However, only 4 can be in the lineup, so that's a big change to your point.
Hollenstein jams away at it, so more room for young Swiss players to play, and there's a bunch of good ones out there. You think about Nico Hischier, who's rated 1st or 2nd for the upcoming draft. Our Craig Button thinks that he might go 1st overall. Plays for Halifax in the Quebec Major Junior League.
Well, but it's not just about the NHL, and I think that's part of your point, is that now these kids, when they're growing up, they have something to aspire to. There's actually room in the Swiss Hockey League for them to have a career, to build a life, to play. Because in the past, the imports chewed up all the spots.
No less than Roger Federer tweeted out a congratulatory note to the Swiss team after the win last night over Canada. Jokela plays it around for Ville Laine. And now Filppula tries to knock that ahead. Ville Laine in behind Diaz. Racing in for it is Rantanen. Mikko Rantanen on it now. Drops that down to Aho. Sebastian Aho. His top line goes back to work for the Finns. Aho spins and shoots. Blocked by Rito Shapi. Aho steps around Pia Suter. Puts it back along the boards and drops it back. Kukkonen plays that around. Thurr got dropped in front of the goal. And now Filppula centers it. Aho couldn't get a shot away. And his stick lifted on him, and the puck goes over the glass and out.
That was real close in front of the net, and Sebastian Aho got good positioning. Rantanen knocks Thurr off the puck, and you see Aho get to the inside. He ends up just missing that pass as it comes to his backside with Ambul standing there. There's at the other end of the ice, Hollenstein, who's had a good tournament. He doesn't have a goal, but he's got 5 assists, been a speedy, aggressive forward. Just misses on the sweep wraparound.
One of Switzerland's all-time leading goal scorers at the World Championship is Dennis Hollenstein. Playing in his 6th. Played a couple years for Guelph in the OHL. He was a big scorer in the Swiss League at 23 goals in 50 games this year for Klopp. And digs forward in the corner. Löffel steps in the way. And Romain Löffel plays it back down to the finish zone where Honka picks it up. Both teams are changing. Lead pass finds Ossola. That shot kicked away by Giannone. Hollenstein on it now. Got bumped off the puck by Ossola. Hollenstein stays on it. Closes on Honka and finishes him. Now it's turned over. Praplan finds Haas. Gaetan Haas in. Shoots. Blocked by Lehtinen. Mikko Lehtinen got in the way of that. And now Honka up for Pilström. Antti Pilström jumps in across the line for the Finns. A centering pass. And that just missed Tommy Salonen. Hollenstein had that knocked away by Lehtinen. And now plays it back for Dean Kukan. Battle of the Bands continues in the stands as the Finnish fans take their turn to sing and chant. Pirala has that knocked away by Ruffinack. Diaz drops it back for Furr. Across the line by Shapi. Rito Shapi spins back. At the point, Furr a long shot, bounces around in front, rebound, Shapi with a drive, stopped by Korpisalo.
It's the second time in the last couple of minutes that the Finns have had the puck 5 feet from their blue line, turned it over and given up a scoring chance.
Finns will close out against Canada on Tuesday, the final day of the preliminary round, and the top 4 teams in the 2 groups will each go to the quarterfinals. Kukkonen. Leaves it there for Aho to the point, but not out. Now a shot, score! Just like that, Giannone grabs the puck and fires it by Korpisalo to make it 2-0 Switzerland. Joel Giannone with the goal.
Giannone had 16 goals in 47 games, the top goal scorer, top goal scoring defenseman in the Swiss League. Again, the Finns have the puck and they hand it right to the Swiss at the blue line. It's an unforced turnover as the puck is on the stick of the Finnish player. It goes D to D and Giannone's shot goes right through Jonas Korpisalo, who's cleaning the crease for Harri Sateri. That's going to be it for Korpisalo. As the Finns, 10.5 minutes in, are going to make a goalie change.
Much like the Swiss did last night.
they can only hope for the same result where Giannone came in and was outstanding in relief. Satteri's taken his sweet time here at the bench. Played the one game, just 14 shots on goal against Slovenia. There is Joel Giannone, whose slap shot turns into his first goal of the tournament. Both goals I don't like against Korpisalo. The first one he lost his angle and got beat up over the glove, and the second one went right through him. And the Swiss have a 2-0 lead.
2 goals rather on 6 shots for the Swiss. Filppula. The danger, of course, for the Finns is to drop down the standings as there's a quick shot by Bodeman. That's gloved by Satteri. Is then you're dealing with the Russians or the Swedes on the other side.
Yeah, that's if you get yourself through.
Yeah,
they could fall right out of the picture here. There's the first goal you saw. Korpisalo slide out of the net, open up the glove side, and then Giannotti's shot from the point goes through, and it's 2-0 for the Swiss.
Finland only 2 points ahead of France. The French close out against Slovenia, and the Finns close out against Canada.
They kick this game away, and the Finns are in real danger all of a sudden.
Long shot there.
You would think the French are jumping up and down with this start here. They have Slovenia, who's got 1 point, and they would have a chance to advance if Canada beats the Finns. This game long way from over if it turns out like this.
And now a penalty coming to the Finns to compound their problems. A tripping call. With 8:53 to go, Valtteri Filppula will go off.
Filppula gets tied up with Tanner Richard. His foot pulls out Richard on the boards in the Swiss power play. It's been a bit of a mixed bag in this tournament. They have 4 power play goals, but they've given up 2 shorties. They got 1 power play goal last night against Canada, and they'll look for a 3-0 lead here on their first power play in this game.
Now play back to Diaz. Rafael Diaz. For Malgin of the Florida Panthers. Ambule back for Diaz. Malgin to Diaz, back to Malgin. Works into the goal line, he goes. Cody Allman drops it back. Ambule's shot, it goes off the glove of Satteri and wide. Malgin back with it. Malgin back for Diaz. Malgin. Once again, a jam plate side of the goal. Cody Allman 2 whacks out of the puck, still loose, and finally Satteri pounces on it and hangs on.
Diaz Sutter is bent over in front of the Finnish net. As that play wraps up, he gets a stick in the face. I believe it's from his own teammate who's buried underneath that pile. Shapi's going to take this puck from below the goal, or rather Allman from below the goal line. Yeah, there it is. Allman's wrap attempt, and he gets tied up with Kukkonen. The stick comes up and clips Suter. Kukkonen's a bit of a hard-nosed 35-year-old. He plays a pretty aggressive style, cleans the front of the net up pretty well, and the former Blackhawk and Philadelphia Flyer, been the Finnish captain for a little bit now.
Off the draw, back at the point. Führer keeps it alive. Minutes ago, the Swiss power play. Führer. Pass, bounces down to Herzog. And now Prattland plays that rink wide. Kemppainen reaching for it. And Führer keeps it alive. Another penalty coming out of the Finns. Mikko Rantanen's going to go off for setting Tanner Richard in. Check that, that's Jonas Järvinen. So now a 2-man advantage for 40 seconds.
Critical time in the game here. Järvinen got away with the first push against the boards. Patrick Fisher has a quick little strategy meeting. There's the first push, not so bad, but then when Richard turns around, now he shoves him right into the boards. That's going to get called every time internationally when you're that close to the boards, a shove from behind. At home, they let that go once, or a lot of the time. Here, almost none of the time.
So a two-man advantage now for the Swiss for 40 seconds. Ambuel.
He's the shooter here.
Wins the draw back to Diaz, to Untersander. Back for Diaz, in, slaps it down. Takes the return pass from Hollenstein. Untersander to the goal line to Ambuel. Untersander back across. In comes Diaz, quick shot, saved by Sateri, rebound. And turned away is Hollenstein. Untersander back across, Ambuel at an open net, and the puck bounced off his stick.
What a nice play by Untersander to find him there.
In comes Diaz again, slides it back across, and again, Ambuel can't handle the pass. Hollenstein back with it. Final seconds of the first penalty. Diaz across, Untersander winds and fires off the foot of Ultima. Filppula steps back on, Untersander in, shoots, and the glove save is made by Sateri.
Well, the best chance for the Swiss doesn't even result in a shot as Untersander had the Swiss backed in and stationary. And Ambuel's not able to field the puck. He has a wide open net. Here it is here. Look at Untersander's got everybody frozen. And the puck hops away from Ambuel. That's a terrific play. And that's the guy you want with the puck too. He's their shooter. Ambuel with 19 goals in the World Championships in 96 games. This is his 97th game in the World Championships.
14th tournament for him. Janazzi from a sharp angle as it go off a skate. Filppula plays it ahead and finds Aho shorthanded. Sebastian Aho winds in and slides it back for Hietinen. Topi Jakola slaps that back down to the Swiss zone. Finns have won 9 straight meetings between these two countries. Won the last one in a shootout in 2014 at the World Championship in Belarus. Plays it back down, Giannoni. Quick up there for Ruffenack. Ruffenack for Bodenman. His centering pass knocked away from Chappie by Kukkonen. Now here's Bodenman with it. Bodenman. Cross for Führer. Untersander. Back for Führer. In, shoots. Save made by Sateri. Loose puck. Sateri finally grabs it. With Chappie digging for the loose puck.
See frustration from the Finns. Ultima almost takes a penalty at the end of this, but this is good puck movement by the Swiss. Führer wants to quickly get this shot to the net, but it's a little high, so nobody's able to screen. When it's chest high, eventually you got to get out of the way. That clears the lane for Sateri to look at it, and he makes the stop. Much like Giannoni did yesterday for the Swiss. Sateri's come in, he's made 6 straight stops here, much of it through this power play stretch. Critical kills there for the Finns.
5 shots on goal for Switzerland on that power play. Pass. Finds Järvinen, plays that down, and taking a hard bump there is Salonen. Digs out the loose puck, goes back to the point to Honka with a shot that goes off the leg of Suter and wide. Now a chance for Lehtinen. He fired that wide as well. Führer trying to dig it free. Savanainen. Back in deep, and Führer goes back for it. Diaz. Banks it ahead for Ambuel. Inside 5 to go here. In the opening period, Führer for Suter, that pass missed him and goes back down to the finish zone. If you're the Finns and you escape here, down 2-0 after 1, you might consider yourself fortunate. 4:32 to go here in period number 1. The World Hockey Championship returns to Paris after this. about a 4-hour train ride from Geneva or Zurich into Paris, and a lot of Swiss fans have made the trip this weekend. One of the founding nations of the International Ice Hockey Federation. The Swiss won a silver medal in 2013. They started 9-0 that year. Lost to the Swedes in the gold medal game. That's their only medal race since 1953. There were some long, dark periods for Swiss hockey. As we mentioned, their league overrun with international players that choked off their development.
But even in that time, Gord, they were always a pain in the rear end to play. They could defend, and they played this counter system that looked a lot like a soccer game where nobody really moved out of position. Nobody really tried to score much, it seemed.
Hollenstein moves it ahead for Paplin. In shoots, he fired that wide. Goaltending along a Swiss strength as well. Jacques Plante actually moved to Switzerland after his retirement from the NHL. Did some coaching work over there before his death. Plante is actually buried in Switzerland. First period over in Cologne. 1-0 on the goal by Joel Lundqvist. There's a very witty shampoo ad with the Lundqvist brothers.
Very, very good.
Where Joel replaces Henrik as the spokesman because they want a younger face, and Henrik points out he's only 40 minutes younger. Now, centering pass, Oslo with a shot, that's blocked. And Bodeman brings it ahead for the Swiss. Skates away from Oslo, pokes that ahead, and Sateri out to play it. Harry Sateri plays for Vityaz Podolsk in the KHL. They play in suburban Moscow. Played 42 games for them, had a .929 save percentage, top 10 in the KHL in save percentage. They're known for their rough and tumble / violent style of play. There was once a game where a full line brawl broke out and both teams were assessed a 5-0 defeat by KHL officials.
Holy smokes, I have never seen this before. What the Finns just did.
5 across?
Their own goal line. It looked like the flying V from the Mighty Ducks.
Long shot floats wide there.
Man, you are overthinking the game here. If everybody has to come back to the goal line to break out together.
Savanainen shoots, that's tipped wide. As Antti Pilström picked it up. Now Pilström. With 2 to go in this first period. That pass at Rufinak in the rear end. Now Lehtinen back to pick it up. Mikko Lehtinen won a Swedish championship with HV71 this year. Moves it and shoots. It goes off the stick of Thurar. Up and out of play with 1:47 to go.
Vincent Paplin has 6 points in the tournament. He almost has 7 here as he makes a nice little cut to the middle. And this hits the shaft of the stick at Sateri. Paplin had a goal and an assist against Canada yesterday. He scored the tying goal from way over on the sideboards that Pickard went to deflect out into the corner and ended up funneling it into his own net. That was the second goal in 3 minutes and 7 seconds that ended up sending the game to overtime.
Shots at 12-3 in favor of the Swiss. Shot by Miro Aaltonen knocked down. Thurar plays it quickly ahead for Ambuel. He's got Suter with him. Andres Ambuel walks in, shoots for sharp angle up high, and Sateri knocked that away. Urala had that knocked away, and a penalty coming now.
This is going to be Ambuel.
And so with 1:24 to go in the first period, Ambuel will go off. He plays with an edge, does Andres Ambuel, the 33-year-old.
They're checking Kukkonen as he goes to the players' bench.
That linesman had to take him right to the bench.
It's the shoulder. This is going to be a 2 and a 10, I believe.
2 officials are talking about it.
The contact is up high to Kukkonen, and then his head runs into the glass. But I believe the initial contact, now this is called at the referee's discretion, but I think the initial contact is at the head. We'll see here.
Team Switzerland, 2 minutes penalty and misconduct for check to the head.
There you go. So, yeah, it's a hitting the head penalty for Ambiol, who will sit for the next 12 minutes.
So the Swiss will have to send somebody to the box. Here's the hit. Watch where the contact is. The contact's right on the jaw. And as soon as that contact is made, that opens up the 2 and 10 penalty, which Ambiol will now have to sit. So the Finns, despite scuffling around here, getting outshot 12-3, have a power play for the last 84 seconds of this period to see if they can get on the board.
Savanainen, Aho, and Rantanen up front. Hietanen and Billy Lyonen on the back end. Lyonen can really bring it from back there. Sebastian Aho trying to work his stick free. Savanainen wins that battle for the puck. Back to Lyonen. Feeds it across. Hietanen sets things up for the Finns. Juuso Hietanen. Down to Rantanen for Aho. Aho looking for the high tip in front, bouncing puck, they score! Savanainen got a touch on it. A power play goal with 59 seconds to go in the first period, and the Finns are back in it.
Oh, what a critical time for them to score. Their penalty killers did a terrific job for them to keep this in. Oh, this is going to be Hietanen's goal.
I think you're right.
Aho goes across the slot. It's tipped once. It's up in the air, and it's Hietanen knocks this off the pad of Giannone. Right here, it comes back, bounces off his leg. It's in the net. And after their penalty killers do a great job killing off that 5-on-3, then the 5-on-4, the Finns get a power play goal. It's going to be Juuso Hietanen's second goal in as many games. And that changes things in a hurry.
Doesn't it though? We'll look out, that long shoot and almost handcuffs Sateri. Just the fourth shot for the Finns in the period. The ice was tilted down towards their end for much of this period, but Harry Sateri comes in, settles things down in goal, and now they're down 1. Salonen drops, in comes Pilströmer's shot, and Giannone made the save on that. Late pass for Hollenstein. Hollenstein. Knocked down there by Järvinen. Time winding down here in the period. Well, with these two teams, no lead has been safe, either having one or the opposition having one, so you'd expect the lead to seesaw back and forth. And time expires here at the end of the opening period. Juuso Hietanen, a late goal in the power play for the Finns, draws them within 1. It's 2-1, the Swiss leading through 20 minutes of play here in Paris.
teams playing at first place.
jerseys and everything else from last night, so you can bring them back and say that you were here in 2017 Ice Hockey World Championship. This is done. Next thing, could you maybe say a bit of news from Finland? What is happening during Denmark-Sweden?
C'est la marque Suède effectivement, mais c'est la Suède qui cherche son rang de troisième, avec pour l'instant un but pour les Suédois, pour les Danois.
Absolutely, 1-0 for Sweden in Finland for the moment. What a little bit of history about hockey, maybe 100 years back, ça c'est un peu de Denmark.
Ouais, mais quelque chose d'anecdote. Ils sont pas forcément anciens d'ailleurs, je crois qu'on a eu justement ce championnat de 2017. Allez, c'est avec voilà, ce mondial, on parlait déjà du mondial de 51, le premier mondial en France, le deuxième ici, c'était à Paris, et les États-Unis étaient représentés par l'équipe à l'époque de club, c'était le club Lewiston qui est venu dans un club proche de l'État du Maine, donc très proche de la frontière avec le Québec. Mais le Canada avait envoyé eux de leur côté les Maple Leafs, Lethbridge, qui remportèrent leur 14e médaille d'or dans ce tournoi en 1951.
Moi, je ne savais pas. Little did you know, you guys, talk about France again, French team. There's 20 points in between. Not David, so this is the 17th national coach in the history of France team. We all talk about France, of course. So it's the first official appointment of coach at the head of the French hockey team. And the Canadian Olympic Football was the first of these French players during the 1960s World Geneva in Switzerland.
Une petite dernière, le 7 août, à l'occasion l'occasion du mondial de 2017. Vous voyez, je vous disais qu'on allait en parler. Mais ici à Paris, pour ce deuxième mondial français, l'équipe de France vient de battre son record de présence à ce niveau en disputant 10 années d'affilée. Donc son 10e niveau en tout cas ici à l'occasion de ce mondial 2017. En élite, c'est depuis leur retour en 2008 au Québec. Et avant, ils avaient déjà un record assez intéressant de 9 années de suite dans la Tour des France entre 1992 et 2000.
Et là, je ne savais pas comme ça, donc du coup, je vais pouvoir rentrer 2 minutes d'anecdote à la vie. Écoute, donc c'est regardé à 5 minutes 20 de la reprise du match, seconde période, dehors, pour les Finlandais. Let's dance, if you have the music, and the dance cam, you guys, with the interactive squad.
Regarde, ça pousse derrière. Partout, on veut lancer avec l'interactive squad.
Plus fort, DJ.
C'est turbulent, c'est très rouge sur les écrans. La Suisse est dans la place. Mais on voit un petit peu de bleu et de blanc, bien évidemment, parce que la Finlande n'est jamais très très bonne. Comment Finland, comment Switzerland.
Avec l'interactive squad que vous avez reçu depuis ce matin, évidemment, et qui vous ambiance dans les courses de l'arena et qui vous danse avec nous dans le public. Et ça fait bien que vous avez là avec nous. And we would like everybody to clap their hands for 357 volunteers without whom this event would be possible. Please a big clap for them!
Oui, vous nous avez écran, évidemment, merci. 5357 volontaires.
Allez DJ, on change de musique. On va continuer à foutre le feu ici à l'accord Hotel Arena. Allez DJ,
1-0 lead for Switzerland, but a late goal by the Finns on the power play. Draw that margin to 1. As France and Norway look on with interest, hoping that the Swiss will beat the Finns and allow them to still be in contention for a quarterfinal spot. The quarterfinals will be played on Thursday here in Paris and in Cologne. It's guaranteed that the French, should they make it, and the Germans, should they make it, will both play their quarterfinal matches in their home city. So, for example, if the Germans qualified as the 4th place team in their group, the 1st place team from here would go to Cologne to play the quarterfinal game, and vice versa. If France was the 4th place team on this side, the 1st place team from the other side would come here to play the quarterfinal. If they won, go back to Cologne for the semis and the final. Teams begin this second period 5-on-5. Praplin works in. Vincent Praplin drops that back. Furrow with a chance, and it's tipped right on. And Harry Sateri makes the save, and we're seeing this familiar script from last night where an early pull and a goaltender comes in and shuts the door.
Sateri stopped all 7 shots in the first period. Stopped his 8th shot here that he's faced. Gord, you're exactly right. It is the same script so far. Down 2-0. The Swiss were able to come all the way back to win in overtime.
And now a steal by Ocelot, who fires that down to the Swiss zone. Anakainen throws that back to the point. Jani Lainen has it got right down to his feet. Lainen works back across the top, drops it back for Topi Jakala, back for Lainen, winding in. Lainen elects not to shoot. And now Billy Lainen, his brother, unloads. That hit Hollenstein in the foot. Now Billy Lainen, another shot. That's kicked out by Giannone. Topi Jakala, long lead pass. Bounced off the stick of Mikko Rantanen, the Colorado Avalanche. Kukan, the puck stripped away by Aho. And Allman throws it away as Valtteri Filppula looks down for Rantanen in this top line, back on the ice for the Finns. Cody Allman, the Calgary native. Up ahead for Thomas Rufinak, who works in. That's stripped away. As Yetman, the Finnish goal scorer, has it back. Not exactly a textbook goal, but at that stage, the Finns take it.
Take anything, and a lucky bounce late in the period.
Now Kemppainen centers a great chance in front for Miro Aaltonen.
And maybe that's going to be the only way that you beat Leonardo Giannone, who was brilliant last night, 35 for 35 in relief. He gives up a goal from behind the goal line off his pads. But everything else, Giannone has been rock solid, including this stop here on Miro Aaltonen. A really good forecheck, good positioning by Aaltonen and Giannone, who led the Swiss League with a .936 save percentage and a .949 in the playoffs as they won the league championship at Bern.
3rd time he's led that league in save percentage. A 2-time Swiss goaltender of the year. 27 years old, Ray. NHL teams might give him a look, but the problem is his height starts with a 5.
Right, and to my knowledge, the only guy that has bucked that trend in the last little bit has been Jussi Saros, who had a terrific rookie year backing up Pekka Rinne in Nashville. Everybody thought he would have been a first rounder if he was taller.
Jonathan Bernier in Anaheim is under 6 feet. There aren't many, and you hate to say that someone's height would automatically disqualify them from playing, but it's pretty close to that in goal. Malkin works in. Winds and shoots, it goes off a stick and wide.
And look at the 4 goaltenders that are left, the 4 starters. Fleury's tall. John Gibson's big. Craig Anderson's big. Well, tall, they're not big. They're tall and lanky. And of course, Pekka Rinne.
Osterman goes back, and Ocelot picks up the loose puck. Lead pass finds Savanainen. In comes Savanainen, a shot. 1%er gets a stick on that, and the puck goes up and out of play.
Savanainen had an assist on that first period goal. Plays the high slot on the power play and had a good year this year. He plays in the Finnish Elite League in Tampere. Scored 30 goals in 55 games there.
Yeah, led the Finnish league in goal scoring. 31-year-old. Hollenstein waits for it. Dennis Hollenstein is the son of Felix Hollenstein, we mentioned, who was 4th overall in goal scoring for the Swiss in their history of the World Championship. Altama fires it down. Back at the line, Topi Jakala works in. Wade shoots, save made by Giannoni, and the rebound goes right back to Vililainen with a shot. That goes wide. And all of a sudden, the Finns have all kinds of energy. That hit into the head penalty by Andres Ambul looks to be a turning point so far in the hockey game. Now a sharp angle shot fired wide there by Hannikainen. Jakala back to Vililainen. Shot towards the goal, knocked away by Giannoni.
The Swiss haven't shown much capability to deal with adversity in this tournament. You talked, Gord, about the lead they had in their first game against Slovenia that they kicked away 4-0. When things went bad, all of a sudden they fell apart. They went back on their heels, and it'll be interesting to see what they do here in the second period. It hasn't started very good for them.
Aho chips out ahead. Allman goes back, but Rantanen gets there first. Mikko Rantanen digging for it. And Rantanen works it free. Throws it back in front. Hard shot there. Taken by Järvinen, turned away by Giannoni. And the puck cleared back to center ice.
That's about three or four times that the Finns have had a forecheck and generated from below the goal line to in front for a one-timer. Swiss getting outworked behind the net.
Now a steal by Aaltonen, spins and shoots, and Giannoni makes the save and hangs on.
Shots 5-1 Finland here in the second period. Jakala's shot handcuffs Giannoni. And then Hannikainen has a rebound that he's not quite able to get to, but the Finns are starting to roll into the offensive zone and starting to hold the puck, possess the puck, as the Swiss are back on their heels here. They need to get up, move the puck, get close together so they can support the puck and get it out of the zone to at least kill a little bit of this momentum.
From the point, Lehtinen a shot, that's blocked. Rebound, Kapainen a chance, a backhand shot. Giannoni got a piece of that. Jonas Kapainen back with it. Spins it around for Aaltonen. Great pressure now by the Finns. Aaltonen back at the point. Lehtinen a shot that deflects off a leg and wide. Here's Pierella on it. Down to Kapainen. Swiss hemmed in here as Pierella works it free for Aaltonen to Kapainen. Back to Pierella. His long shot ramps off a stick into the corner. Lehtinen for Hietinen. And finally the Swiss able to move it out, but not deep enough to get a chain. Pass thrown ahead to Salonen. Tommy Salonen comes leaping in. Richard plays it back across for Christian Marty. Rantanen stepped into him. Salonen knocks that free for Antti Pilström. And now Pilström with a head of steam.
The Finns are on a second trio of forwards. The Swiss cannot get a change. They get one guy off the ice, but 4 of the 5 have been on for over a minute here, just chasing the puck in their zone.
Salonen played that in deep, but now Herzog finally moves that down to the Finnish zone, and the Swiss can get a much-needed change.
But that doesn't change the momentum for them. Now they've got a change, and here come the Finns right back up the ice.
Honka, head for Hannikainen. Now brought in by Pia Suter. A backhand shot, save made by Sateri. And Malgin skated by the rebound. From the point, Untersander is shot. And Sateri makes the glove save and hangs on. 2-1, the Swiss lead here in the second period.
Allez, c'est parti, c'est parti. Alors, sortez, découvrez une nouvelle coiffure, quelque chose de spécial. Allez, spécial Obélix, magnifique, vraiment. se faire.
Et puis tout le monde qui s'inspecte.
Voilà, regarde,
Bon,
regarde.
les gars, ouais, ok, d'accord.
Je fais encore des super.
Oh, tout le monde qui s'inspecte, on fait une roulade, non?
On va faire partir là, là, les amis. Ah, on va, voilà, comme ça, avec
Voilà, elle va partir par là, ok?
attention, là.
Allez,
Viens là, viens là, viens là, viens là, viens là. La déferlante en rouge, bleu et blanc bien sûr, il y a des Suisses là-dedans, il y a du Finlandais, on est là, on tourne la tête.
In the spirit of the World Championship finish, and Swiss fans sitting side by side. Great spirit outside the restaurants and bars, fans mingling, and very peaceful, very.
They seem to just come to enjoy it. Whoever they're sitting beside is their new best friend for the afternoon. Those cafes are doing well right around the rink here.
What are they ever?
If you're going for a quiet lunch, that's not the place.
They might need a good steam cleaning when the tournament's over, I will say that.
That's probably a fair statement.
Anakainen plays that in deep as Gennady goes back. Osala centers it, that pass knocked away from Anakainen. Held by Billy Lyon, and his long shot, and Giannone steers that wide. Osala centers it, and a shot taken there by Jani Lyon and turned away.
Well, Giannone is on the limp. He's a very important player for the Swiss. He looks like he's hurt as he's gliding towards the Swiss bench. My mistake, Gennady, the defenseman.
Aho plays it back to Lyon, and Topiakala centers it, and Filppula just missed on that high deflection. Man, is that the thing now in hockey or what? The high tip of the slot?
I think it's your only way a lot of times to get it through that mass of humanity that's right on top of the goal crease. So you shoot it about 10 feet high, or 10 feet higher from the traffic, but you've changed the angle and maybe it finds a way to squeak through.
Seems to be everyone's power play now.
Coach, I'm a really good deflector. Okay, you're on the power play.
Lapland plays it ahead for Hollenstein. And Krapla has it knocked away by Hietinen. In comes Aaltonen, Miro Aaltonen now. Centering pass knocked down by Praplin in front. The clearing attempt goes off Praplin's leg. And Marty turns it over as Aaltonen plays it back in. Fins are changing. That gives Hollenstein some time to play it out to center right. Walking in now is Aaltonen. And by the way, Gennady is now making his way down the tunnel to the Swiss dressing room, so that would be a loss for them.
He's in considerable pain, being helped by a trainer.
Moved in by Ruffinack. And Aaltonen swings around for it. Gets thumped down there. And the centering pass goes off Sateri as he kicks that away. Shot taken there by Löffel. Lassi Kukkonen got taken down there by Schaap. He didn't like that very much.
He's had a tough evening. He was on the receiving end of the Ambule hit. Ambule's probably got 90 seconds left.
That must seem like an eternity.
Well, especially because he had to go off for the intermission. I mean, he hasn't been on the ice for 45 minutes.
Now a penalty coming as Järvinen goes back for it. And a Richard was spilled. And Antti Pilström's going to go off for the Finns, so the Swiss go to the power play. 10:20 remaining here in the period.
Well, my timing isn't quite right because Ambule is out now. Talk about good timing for the Swiss. As we see the Pilström penalty. Pilström, one of the Finns' better penalty killers. Oh, there's the play where Gennady got hurt. He took a little cross check to the back. Good block on Laajanen, and no good. And there he goes. It was really a pretty gritty play because the injury was before the block, and he hung in there to make the block. And here's Ambule back on the power play.
Well rested as Mulligan works in, slaps it across to Ambule, and he comes, a rolling puck, shoots, that was blocked. Aho on it, brings it around, and it skips by Malgin and back down the ice. Midway point now, the second period, 2-1, the Swiss lead. Ambule falls and drops it back for Malgin. Takes the return pass from Diaz, drops it back, and in comes Suter with a shot. He fired it wide. Malgin back with it. Dennis Malgin. Works it back to Diaz, a hard shot to Terry. Rebound put wide by Ullman.
Well, the Swiss power play has been good. They didn't score in the first period, but man, they're dangerous here.
Now Kemppainen can't clear it out. Here's Suter with it on the feed from Malgin. Malgin back with it with Ullman parked right in the top of the crease. Malgin winds right in, shoots. Sateri makes the stop. Yetinen can't clear the rebound. That's the second time the Finns haven't cleared it out. Diaz in, shoots. That was blocked by Filppula. And Kemppainen finally sends it out.
Well, goalies love to help by passing the puck on the power play. It's rarely a help. Everybody's changing and coming back towards him. Giannone thinks he's helping. He turns it over at the far blue line. Just let them come back and settle down.
Hollenstein winds in, drops it back for Praplat. Kukkonen plays it around. Richard. Being watched there by Jani Lainen. Richard walks the line. The shot fired wide there by Praplat. 10 seconds to go on the power play. Kukkonen battling for it. And Jani Lainen had it knocked away. Hollenstein in the corner for Richard. Final seconds now on the power play. Richard in, lays it right down to the goal line. Herzog tipped it wide. Pilstrom back out there now. 2 shots on goal for the Swiss on the power play. Richard centers it. Bounced by everyone. Pierrella finds Pilstrom out of the penalty box. In comes Pilstrom. His teammates are changing. He shoots. Giannone knocked it down. Hollenstein almost tapped it by him inadvertently.
Does Giannone have a cab waiting? He's playing the puck almost every time he can get his hands on it.
Well, there's a bunch of NHL scouts sitting to our left. Maybe he's trying to impress them.
Well, I think they'd be best impressed if he just continued to stop the puck.
Poked free now by Shappy. Rito Shappy took that from Ville Lainen. Shappy still on it. Walks right in front. Drops it off. Untersander in. Untersander spins and shoots. Terry knocks that away. Ruffenack banks that back. Kuka plays it across. Untersander is shot. That deflected wide. Again, the Finns can't clear it up, and now Salonen one-hands it out. And as he does, it's called offside at the Swiss line. The World Hockey Championship returns to Paris after this. The Swiss lead the Finns here in Paris. In Cologne, William Nylander has scored 2-0 the Swedes, leading Denmark. Henrik Lundqvist shaken up in a crease collision there in his first start of the tournament. Don't be messing with Swedish royalty. It's been about 400 years, I think, since Denmark and Sweden went to war, but that might trigger another one.
I'm gonna tell you, you know some stuff. I don't know how to categorize it, but you know some stuff.
Useless, mostly.
It rattles around till it collides with another thought.
Rain, I've spent the last 33 years on the road. I've had a lot of spare time. Suter shoots, and Sateri makes the save.
A little bit of edge and bite here.
There is. It's really... The Swiss do play a feisty game.
The Finns forever have been like this. Is Dennis Malgin, who is just a little guy, 5'9", 175 pounds, is wrestling around with Julius Honka. He's about 176 pounds.
Honka, of course, Dallas Stars first round pick in 2014. Played 16 games for the Stars, 50 with Texas of the American League.
2-minute penalties for roughing.
2-minute penalties in the bantamweight scuffle.
Roman Goffman's got to work on his inner Wes McCauley. That was a very laconic call.
I think he's thinking about the English part of this before he can be really aggressive.
Good point.
I don't know how aggressive we would be in a different language either.
Well, you would.
I don't know what I'm saying. You, man. Well, you've seen me around here. I hold my Google Translate up.
That poor guy in the subway booth the other day.
Well, he had it coming.
Yes, he did.
As he continued his phone call while 10 people were waiting in line.
Yes, Ray is going to finally bring efficiency to France. Let me know how that turns out for you. Lettman shoots and the save made by Giannone.
So it looks like the game settled into a little bit of a back and forth here as the Finns really controlled the first 5 or 6 minutes of the period, really pushed hard. Giannone made 3 or 4 outstanding stops, and then the Swiss got their legs back under them, probably aided by that power play. But they're doing this right now with one of their better defensemen, Joel Janazzi, who is not in the lineup. He's not on the bench. Well, actually, he just jumped back. That's the first shift he's been back since he's been injured. This is good news for them. They miss him a lot when he's not there.
Now center, here comes Filppula with a chance. By a sprawling Löffel. And Hollenstein picks up the loose puck. And away comes Hollenstein with it. Across the line, steps around Pierrella. A backhand shot at the side of the goal. It was almost cashed there by Haas. But Pierrella has it back. A rink-wide pass finds Savanainen. Savanainen right back for Pierrella. Walks in, waits, and shoots it wide. Järvinen. Your philosophy on a lot of these games can be summed up in 3 words. Shoot the puck.
It's frustrating to watch at times because I know the big ice actually tends to get you out of a shooting position. But eventually, you got to get it to the front of the net.
Järvinen, poke check, the puck back to center ice. Altman picks it up.
Especially a 4-on-4 here. You've got lots of room. Get the puck into the middle of the ice.
Kemppainen center. Giannone makes a great stop in tight on Rantanen. Kemppainen back with it. Towards the goal, but hit the stick of Rantanen, went wide. Now picked up by Diaz. Rafael Diaz with Herzog and Ambul. Fabrice Herzog works in. Falls in front of Kemppainen. Now Kemppainen, a long lead pass for Rantanen. And Giannone had to come out to play it, so the icing's waved off. 5-on-5 now is walking into Shappy. Drops it back. Picked off by Kukkonen. Jokela. Now Janazzi with a long shot that drifts wide. Picked up by Shappy. Honka for Filppula. Valtteri Filppula, the Philadelphia Flyers, up for Topi Jokela. In comes Jokela with it. Hangs it around. Giannone leaves it there for Kuka. Lead pass just missed. Ruffinack.
Heck of an effort by Hietanen to lay out on the ice to deflect that pass away, or Ruffinack was gone in the clear.
Now Pilstrom knocks it back in the corner. Ruffinack trying to dig it free. P.S. Suter. Got a stick lifted by Filppula. And away comes Pilstrom with it. Antti Pilstrom across the line. Pilstrom works in and shoots. It goes off a leg. Bounces right back to Aho. Sebastian Aho. Spins off Malgin. Aho still with it. Works it back in front. Stripped there. As Malgin stepped in him. And now Malgin turns it over. as Aho steals it right back. Honka winds his way across the line, flips it across for Pilstrom. That pass handcuffed him. Now he centers it, and Honka can't reach it. Honka's long shot drifts wide of the goal, bounces back to Aho. 3.5 to go here in the second period. Jani Lionen digs it free for Hannakainen. Marcus Hannakainen back to Aho. Ultima works in, shoots, that's blocked by Ambul. He gets it right back. Ultima shoots again, it bounces right in front. Oslo, what a chance! Giannone makes the save. Now spinning and shooting is Hannakainen. That's blocked. And finally, the Swiss bring it out as Malgin has it back. The Swiss need a change here as Malgin sends it deep. Wow. Like two different games.
The similarity to last night is really what I'm really shaking my head about it. Uh-oh.
Now Giannone falls. A centering pass. Kemppainen fell as he tried to shoot it.
Is there nickels on the ice there? There's guys lying all over the place, and Giannone's the luckiest guy around as the Finns can't get the puck to the net.
Tanner Richard looks in the corner with it. Takes the return pass, goes back to Diaz. Richard plays it back in the corner. Bodenman lost the puck to Kukkonen. Aaltonen has it. Miro Aaltonen's pass. Kicked in by Richard. And Tanner Richard sends it back in deep. Järvinen banks it high off the glass. And now Löffel back to pick it up. Fired down the ice. That'll be an icing call against the Swiss with 1:55 to go. William Nylander scored again for the Swedes. Goals 4 minutes apart to make it 3-0.
Ultima's second shot is deflected, and he gets the puck back and throws it to Osala, or towards the net. It goes to Osala, and Giannone comes across to smother the puck. Here he's behind the net. Whoops, he trips on the back of the net. And then that sets off a cascade of guys falling all over the front of the net.
Now Honka knocks it down, but the play is called offside at the Swiss line. What a remarkable year 2015-2016 was for Finland International Hockey. They won the under-18 tournament. They won the World Junior Championship. They got to the gold medal game of the World Championship. Had they won that game, they would have been the first country ever to win the under-18s, the junior, and the senior men's worlds in the same year. Then two Finns picked in the top 4 of the NHL draft. And they got another one this year in Miro Heiskanen. That shot pounded wide by Savanainen. Likely to be the first defenseman picked in the NHL draft. Now Pilstrom with a steal. Works it back in front. Giannone was down. Pilstrom almost had a tap into the side of the goal.
A really good play by Kukan as he defended that short ice 2-on-1. Just perfectly took the pass away.
Shots are 11-7 Finland here in the second period. It remains 2-1 Switzerland. On the early 2 goals, they were up 2-0. 9.5 minutes into the game. Now Honka in, shoots. And Giannone got a piece of that. Now Honka centers it again. Filppula drops it back. And Jääkelä couldn't get a shot away. Now fed ahead, a chance for Hollenstein. Into the break. Hollenstein in alone, and the save made by Sateri. 45 seconds to go in the period as Sateri stops Hollenstein. One of Switzerland's best goal scorers on a clear-cut breakaway. Filppula. Back at the point, paid around by Ville Lionen. Rantanen kicks that free. He's taken down by Marty. To the other side it goes. Ville Lionen steps up, pumping there with Hollenstein. They fall. Haas backhands it high in the air. Lehtinen is the trail back as Cropline is watching him. Lehtinen. Up ahead for Hannakainen. Giannone out to play it. Time winds down here in the second period. 2-1. Switzerland continues to lead. Another down to the wire finish coming here in Paris at the 2017 World Hockey Championship. Here's a look at the Hollenstein breakaway, right?
When this puck is flipped ahead, I was watching Harri Sateri. He came 10 feet outside the crease, aggressively out to take away some space. Hollenstein's got to deal with his rolling puck. He wants to go 5-hole. And Sateri stops that one too. He's been perfect since coming in relief in the midway point to the first period.
Our second intermission is coming up. TSN's live coverage of the 2017 World Hockey Championship returns in a moment.
Allez, 49 effectivement pour la rapide de la deuxième période. On va dans les statistiques de cette deuxième période avec aucun but marqué pendant ces 20 minutes. 8, c'est Jacques de Suisse, 13.
See you very soon in less than 20 minutes.
C'est plus que sa passion. C'est un vrai dévouement. Ce sont des heures de travail acharné. C'est un sentiment de fierté. C'est un engagement sans limite. C'est un esprit d'équipe. C'est pour toutes ces raisons que depuis 25 ans, Sandra est le partenaire principal des championnats du monde de hockey sur glace.
Accompagne ce gouvernement comme ça.
your own language. The 2017 IIHF app, powered by Skoda. Download it now from the Apple App Store and Google Play. Skoda, c'est éclatant. Men with real hands on the to prepare themselves. Nivea Man Cream, super fast absorbing and non-greasy. Men, this is your cream. Nivea Man, it starts with you.
Salut, salut. Très bien. Et par là, en Suisse, attention, des mains comme ça, il y en avait plein dehors avant d'entrer ici à l'intérieur de la là. Et évidemment, il y en a plein au Sénégal.
You guys, you need to put the colors of your countries and the flags and the colors and the hats and everything. Because smart camera guys were everywhere before you were entering the arena. If you're inside the edits, it's not a big screen.
Tout savoir et plus encore, c'est le programme que l'on retrouve dans toutes les boutiques ici de Port-au-Prince.
Évidemment. Donc, c'est un peu parce que ce qui est agréable d'être ramené en fait ce programme, comme un souvenir à la vie pour dire que j'y étais, moi, en fait, pendant le système de hockey. If you want, you can buy, of course, the official program in all the official boutiques around the arena, as well as some the little puppets, but also the cap and jerseys, the t-shirts, and everything. So bring back home, is it you and then 2017 Ice Hockey World Championship. Tomorrow we have lots of gaming, of course, coming up. We have France playing Slovenia at 8:15 tomorrow. We also have what we have in Italy. You can check it out in the official À 20h15, il y a encore des billets, donc vous pouvez venir nous rejoindre. Nous, on a encore les quarts de finale, évidemment, quarterfinals next Thursday on the 18th next week. So, who knows who will be in the quarterfinals? Everything can go, can happen. And of course, we have the third period of this game coming up. But first, we actually want to challenge the noise inside the arena because we're very, very numerous tonight. Vous êtes vraiment nombreux ce soir, mais on va vous challenger pour voir le bruit que vous pouvez faire dans la rue. J'allais là.
Et comme on a trouvé le match très très beau entre la Suisse et la Finlande, eh bien on va faire un vrai match aussi de bruit entre la Suisse et la Finlande.
Of course. Are you ready, you guys, to challenge Switzerland against Finland? With screaming and making some noise? Okay, back there behind us, as you can see, Finland against Switzerland. Are you ready to make some noise, girls and boys? Let's move on a little bit, okay? I'm going to start with Finland, okay? I'm going to go with it. Okay, Finland, oh my God, guys, more noise because we're both definitely better in the stadium in this arena, okay? Oh my God, you guys are Finland. 3, 2, 1, make some Okay, 89. That's one of the best pas mal. Let's see what you can do.
So we try now with Switzerland. It's okay?
Of course, Switzerland fans, are you ready?
Ready? We start. 3, 2, 1, come on!
But just on the first page of this, they acted the back on the ice. Vous avez fait sur le niveau sur la patine. Alors, j'ai encore un petit peu de la patate, un petit peu pour comprendre un petit peu les watts à l'intérieur de cette arena. Make some noise, you guys, for your teams back on the ice right now. Switzerland is back!
Allez, on est reparti dans ce match, on est reparti. En quelques toutes petites secondes, c'est la troisième période. Et on sait que on va relâcher, les Suisses vont tenter de tenir, de garder ce petit but d'écart. Et puis les Finlandais vont remettre le paquet pour aller dans les buts.
All together!
On n'a pas fait le pom-pom-pom. Ah oui, on va y aller là. Vous êtes prêts? You want to sing?
Coming. This is 60 seconds from now. Third period in this game. Okay, make some noise, you guys.
Attention!
Back in Paris on this Sunday night, Switzerland with a 2-1 lead on Finland. And that's not the most wildly dressed Finnish fan.
No.
He might not make the top third.
How could you be without? You need more props.
Yeah. If you don't have 4 props going, you're not really in the mix. Face paint, wig, sunglasses.
I'm looking at the one guy. See him over there in the corner. He's got the yellow costume on with the Swiss flag in the middle. It's kind of like a Teletubby thingamajiggy.
Yeah.
He's got a number on the back too.
He's right into it.
He's right into something.
Diaz fires it down. The teams begin this third period. 5-on-5. The Swiss with an early 2-1 lead. Finns changed goaltenders. Harry Sateri has stopped all 15 shots he's faced and kept his team in it, including a breakaway late in that second period when Hollenstein was turned away. The teams behind Finland watching this game closely. The French and Norway would be hoping for a Swiss win here.
They got their points. Go ahead, pile the points up. Nobody cares about that if you're below. You want the Finns packed down closer to where you are. The Finns have Canada left. They need something here.
In comes Sebastian Aho now, works it and shoots, it's blocked. And the rebound cleared away, but not out. Long shot by Yarman and turned away. Another chance, Praplin works in with Hollenstein. Praplin in, winds and shoots, and Sateri makes the save.
Sateri stopped all 16 since he's been in the game in relief of Jonas Korpisalo. Korpisalo gave up 2 on 5 shots. Praplin with a pretty heavy shot there since Sateri turns aside. Cannot forget the stop he made on the guy beside him, Hollenstein, right at the end of the second period on the breakaway.
Face off not done fairly.
Finns have 9 points.
Away comes Aaltonen across the line with Pierala. Miro Aaltonen shoots, that goes wide. It almost skipped right in front and hit the skate of Pierala. Now Kemppainen has it back to the point. He had another shot, that goes wide. And Andres Ambuel, who's a central figure in the drama today, it was his checking of the head penalty that got the Finns back in it with a late power play goal in the first. Hietanen for Lehtinen. His long shot in the leg, bounced back in front, knocked away by Malgin. Dennis Malgin, one of the few NHL players for the Swiss, and so far no points for him in 4 games and 2 periods.
It was didn't dress for one of the games. He's 20 years old though.
Lead pass for Pilstrom misses. Giannoni goes back to pick it up. That's a blocker that away as Tanner Richard chops it ahead. Lassi Kukkonen back to pick it up. In his 10th World Championship, a member of their 2011 gold medal winning team. The Finns have 6 members of that team here. Was captained by Mikko Koivu. Finns have won the tournament twice, also won it in 1995 in Stockholm.
That had to feel good for them.
With a Swedish coach, Kurt Lindstrom. There may be Finnish people still celebrating in Stockholm for all I know. They may still be wandering around celebrating that win.
We were in Helsinki when they won the junior tournament.
That shot.
Those guys weren't leaving much in the bag either. This game is 2-1, and it started out with the quick goal by Fabrice Herzog. Then Janazzi beats Korpisalo. That's it for him. 2 goals on 6 shots, and in comes Harri Sateri, who has been perfect since. The Finns get on the board on a power play goal late in the first period. Juuso Hietanen batted it off the pads of Giannoni, and that's been it.
Here's Järvinen with it now. His wrist shot goes off a leg into the corner for Aho. Sebastian Aho. Terrific rookie for the Carolina Hurricanes this year. Hollenstein plays it in. He might not finish top 5 in Rookie of the Year voting, which is hard to imagine.
What a class of rookies this year. Amazing.
Citizen, chance right in front, and a save by Sateri, and Praplin can't believe it. What a stop by Harri Sateri.
We talked about it a couple of times. This looks exactly like last night. Down 2-0. You make a goalie switch, and the goalie that you put in is nothing short of brilliant. Leonardo Giannoni did it last night with 35 saves. Praplin gets really good wood on this. He separates from the 2 defensemen, and across comes Sateri to make a spectacular stop. He's made a couple game savers here.
Malgin slides it back for Marty. Here's Diaz with a long shot, that floats wide.
Swiss on the second of back-to-back nights. We see what their energy is like in the last 10 minutes.
And a really emotional win last night.
Down a couple to Canada, come back to win it in overtime.
Malgin taken down there by Jani Lainen, and the Swiss will get an early power play here in the 3rd period.
haven't made anything easy on themselves from the beginning of the tournament. Dennis Malgin dances across the blue line, Lionen takes him down. And another opportunity for the Swiss here on the power play.
Tanner Richard, who is Switzerland's top face-off man, will take the draw. Kemppainen for the Finns. Face-off won by Kemppainen. That allows Atiotama to send it down the ice. Löffel. Out for Proplat. Drop back to Hollenstein. Hollenstein from a sharp angle. Banks that around. Here's Richard waiting for it. Tanner Richard. Centers it. Hollenstein plays it back across for Proplat. Winds in. Proplat sends it rink wide. Richard back for Löffel with a shot. It flutters down to Sateri. And it's knocked away. Ultima can't clear it out. Hollenstein knocks it down. Proplat snaps that rink wide. Onto the stick of Richard. Tanner Richard. Back for Löffel, along wrist shot that was blocked by Sebastian Aho. Richard back with it. Löffel plays it across, bouncing puck comes across, and the shot taken by Richard is blocked. Tanner Richard back with it, snaps it back. Proplat mistires with a one-timer. And now Filppula backhands him and not out, picked out by Proplat. A rolling puck, he fired it wide. Rolls all the way down.
Goodness, Proplat's had about 6 chances here in the third period alone and can't get the puck on the net.
Ganazzi, who left the game briefly in the second period after being cross-checked in the ribs. Lost that battle in the corner. And now Kemppainen sends it down.
The Finnish penalty killers are doing another good job here. They've kept the lid on the Swiss power play.
Uncle Sander works in. He's stripped of the puck as Honka stood up to him. Now Hietanen skips that back down, and Giannoni had to be careful. And now Jani Lionen back on the ice. 2 shots on goal for the Swiss on that power play. Shapi drops it back for Sue. That pass misfired. A chance now for the Finns as Honka sends it ahead. Altonen, though, got tied up. And Rufinek centers it. That pass skipped away from Malgin. Kemppainen with time. Looks ahead for Altonen. And the Finns break up 4 wide. But Altonen spins back. Filppula. Up ahead for Aho. Sebastian Aho. Great move. Walks in. Shoots. And Mulligan got a stick on him. And that's going to be a penalty against the Swiss. And so moments after killing off a penalty, the Finns are going to the power play with 13:07 to go in the third.
Sur les écrans une nouvelle fois, vous allez découvrir l'esprit des meilleurs fans de ce match. Voici le Stellar Fan of the Game.
Rafael Diaz goes off for a slash. Finland goes to the power play here with a chance to tie the game in the third period.
Sebastian Aho creates the power play with a nifty little dance off the wing. He didn't have much room, and he's able to get into a spot to draw the penalty. And now the Finns, who have a power play goal from Hietanen, look for the tie back on the power play moments after killing off a Swiss power play.
Rantanen and Billy Lyon and work the points on the power play. At least that's where they start. So the face-off, won by the Swiss, as Gaetan Haas won that draw and sent it down. Billy Lyon back for Hietanen. For Aho. Rink wide to Billy Lyon. Snaps that down. Giannone at the plate. It skipped through him. Hunter Sander plays it to the line, but not out. Savanainen. Back to Lyonen. Lyonen centers it. Here's Savanainen back with it. Lyonen. Waits for everyone to get set up and drops it back for Aho. Aho to Lyonen. Back for Aho. Sebastian Aho down to the goal line for Rantanen. Moves it behind the goal. Drops it back for Aho. Walks right back in front. Lyonen, shot, scores! Tipped in front, and the Finns have tied it on the power play. Looks like Rantanen got the last touch. 2-2.
Special teams have become a real story here. Really good penalty killing by the Finns, and now 2 power play goals. Rantanen 96 is in front of the net, and this puck hits his stick and deflects by Leonardo Giannone. Point shot by Lyonen. There's the deflection, and this game is tied. Three pieces to this for the Finns. The goaltending of Harry Sateri, who has been perfect so far. Their special teams, which have killed penalties exceptionally well and scored 2 power play goals. And then the pressure that they've put on the Swiss have knocked them backwards for most of the last 2 periods.
Here they come again as Aaltonen works it in deep. Picked up by Kemppainen. Jonas Kemppainen drops it back, and Fiorella fans of that shot and knock it away from Malgin. Anders Ambiol with it. Really, the door opened when Ambiol took that ill-advised checking to the head penalty on Lassi Kukkonen. 2 minutes and 10, so he sat in the box for the better part of 11 minutes.
Just an over-aggressive hit by Ambiol, and then to compound it, they don't kill the penalty at the end of the first period.
Lofel sweeps that to the line, chipped up by Suter. We mentioned that 7 of Switzerland's 14 games the last 2 years of the World Championship have gone past regulation. They've been 3 times here in 5 games in overtime or a shootout. And once again, a 2-0 lead evaporates. Now, if there's any justice, the Finns will take a 2-0 lead or 2-goal lead and then blow that. These teams have both specialized in giving leads away and taking them away. Kukan. Bumped there by Valtteri Filppula. Reno Shappy brings it ahead, being trailed there by Filppula. Shappy still on it. They tangle in the corner as Hietanen steps into him. Picked out by Allman. Back at the point is Diaz with some room. Swings it across to Marty. Christian Marty with a shot. That went way wide. And Diaz back to pick up the loose puck. Marty. Up ahead for Shappy, and the play's offside at the finish line.
Here's a look at the power play goal again as Aho puts this on the tape for Lyonen. His one-timer is tipped in by Mikko Rantanen, and the Finns can celebrate. 2 power play goals tonight for the Finns. They had 3 coming into the tournament.
Aho was the American League Rookie of the Year a season ago. Tied for an award with Frank Vetrano of the Providence Bruins. Another guy, Rantanen, scored 20 goals this year. He'd normally be in the Rookie of the Year conversation, but Hollenstein walks in now. A rolling puck in front. Hollenstein couldn't pull the trigger. Honka back with it. Julius Honka. Slaps that hard pass ahead. It goes right down to Giannone, who sweeps that ahead to Malgin. On the forecheck, Hannakainen causing problems. Kukan brings it out now for the Swiss. Kukan jumps across the line. A long lob in Glove by Zateri, and he hangs on.
It's a good play by Kukan as now the Swiss can complete their change. They get a face-off in the offensive zone, and Patrick Fisher can look to see how he can milk his bench a little more. Remember, tired legs. Probably looking to see who he thinks has the most energy left.
Pays off. Won by Malgin. Picked up by Suter. Pia Suter works it back in front of backhand shot. Stopped by Sateri. Here's Altonen back with it. High in the air and knocked down by Untersander. Lone Untersander, who plays for SC Bern, the two-time defending Swiss League champions. Now chopped right back in front. Altonen almost had a chance there. Altonen knocks down the puck and shoots it wide. Malgin back on it. Up ahead for Ambul. Turns it over at center ice. Is knocked away by Hietanen. And now Lehtinen back on it. Salonen. The last player out of the Finnish roster is Tommy Salonen. In comes Savanainen, but the play's offside at the Swiss line.
You can feel this is going to get a little tight and a little nervous here as the Finns are in a spot where these points are super important for them.
Hey, the Swiss aren't home and cooled out yet either.
No, I was just going to say, if the Finns win this in regulation, they jump past the Swiss. We're talking like the Swiss are locked in here.
Right.
It's certainly not the case.
And they've got the Czechs on Tuesday.
That's an interesting pass.
Hard to handle. Ultimate taken down and a penalty coming. A center ice trip will send the Finns to the power play as Tanner Richard goes off.
Well, Ultima flipped down pretty easy there. Tanner Richard goes to the box. He was complaining about a dive as well, but just can't put the refs in a position to make that call. That's a penalty where you're a stride behind. You're reaching a little bit. And it's pretty clear the Finns are on their toes. They're going forward, and the Swiss are just kind of hanging on. 2 power play goals for the Finns. They get a chance here for a third.
And the unit that scored the last one is out there now. Draw one back to the line, and crossing goes. Rantanen unloads, and Giannone makes the save, just like they drew it up.
Haas gets pushed off the draw here, and this is a bullet by Rantanen. Lionen puts it right on the tee. Oh, and it's deflected off the stick of Marty as well to make the save that much more difficult.
Clearing attempt. Knocked down as Janazzi couldn't clear it out. Billy Lionen to Sebastian Aho. Aho to Rantanen, back for Aho. Has a look, has a lane, sends it right in front, missed the stick of Savanainen. Here's Hietanen with it. Down he goes for Rantanen. Rantanen back for Aho. Aho works in. Looks back at Lionen. Aho still holding, drops it down. Rantanen centers it, that pass skipped away from Hietanen. And a chance now for the Swiss breaking out. As it's sent down by Haas. By the way, no Damian Brunner for the Swiss tonight. He's a scratch as Malgin's back in. And a minute to go now in this Finnish power play. 7.5 to go in the third period. Honka leaves it there for Altonen. Lead pass now for Filppula. Kemppainen drops it back. In comes Kemppainen. Puts down for Pierala. Filppula centers it. Honka was taken down. Now Filppula has it back at the point. Altonen for Filppula walking in. Valtteri Filppula winds in. Peels back, centers it, takes the return pass from Honka. Filppula. Honka back to Filppula. Filppula to the goal line for Pierella. Citizen Honka with a chance. Giannone makes the save and the rebound cleared away.
And the Swiss are going to escape this power play. A couple of stops for Giannone. And now we're down under 6.5 here.
Denmark has scored again, now trailing 3-2 against Sweden late in the third period. Järvinen plays it across for Kukkonen. Shots are 26-24 Switzerland in a 2-2 tie. 6 to go in the third period. Chipped in by Savanainen. That goes Löffel for it. Savanainen stepped into him. Pilstrom forced it free. Now Savanainen has it. Banked that back for Hitten. It's picked off though by Ambuel. Andres Ambuel. Lead pass for Herzog. In comes Fabrice Herzog. He was showing that lethal backhand that scored twice against Canada. Two pretty roof jobs last night, including the winner in overtime. And Pinen plays it across, picked off by Praplin, ahead for Hollenstein. In comes Hollenstein with it now, shoots, that's blocked by Honka. Honka taken down by Hollenstein. Picked up by Pierella. He goes ahead for Aaltonen. Knocked back in by Haas. And the puck loose in the corner. Honka with a rolling puck, feeds that across. Pierella up in for Kemppainen. Puts it rink wide for Aaltonen. Aaltonen pokes that by Martin. They collide in the corner for it. Rapland picks it up now for the Swiss. Rapland lined up there by Kemppainen. Plays it in deep as Kukkonen. Slides it across to Järvinen. Up ahead for Aho. In comes Sebastian Aho winding in. Aho with time. Shoots. He fired it wide. Up the other side it goes. Järvinen. Plays it in for Filppula. Three Swiss players converged on him and he flips it back to center right. Now chipped up by Rantanen for Aho. In comes Aho. Down to Rantanen. Flips it back in front. Aho put that wide. Aho back with it. Sebastian Aho banks it back for Hietinen. Aho down to Filppula. Filppula falls. Rantanen plays that to an open corner. Marty picks it up. Aho knocks down the clearing attempt. Sebastian Aho right at the blue line. Keeps it alive for a moment, then chips it ahead. He finds Rantanen. Rantanen falls. As Allman stick out in there. And now Rufanak has it back for the Swiss. Puck loose in the corner for Shapi. Tied up there by Hietinen. And we've got a 2-minute on the ice call.
Oh, there's six Finns
on the ice. So the Swiss will go to the power play with 3:23 remaining in the third.
Allez, on a des nombreux spectateurs C14 qui ont bien ce soir, présentés par le partenaire officiel de la billetterie du championnat du monde IIHF 2017.
The game attendance is presented by our ticketing partner Event Time, and tonight we are 10,860. Woo!
10 860 spectateurs, applaudissements!
2-2 the score here. Nicholas Backstrom scored for Sweden. It's 4-2 Swedes late in the third period, but now a chance for the Swiss on the power play after the Finns are called for too many men on the ice.
They just can't get out of their own way here. They played their rear ends off to come back into this game, and penalty. The Swiss have been handed power play opportunities to take the lead or to stretch the lead. Now they've got another chance here.
In comes Ambuel with it. Andres Ambuel drops that off for Suter. Pia Suter plays it around for Allman, who banks it back. Malgin races to it and holds the line for the Swiss. for Diaz. Down to Ambule. Back for Diaz. Ambule drops that down to the goal line, finds Allman. Back for Ambule, to the point he goes for Diaz, slaps that across for Malgin. Back to Diaz, winds and shoots, goes off a foot and wide. Pierrella blocked that, and that took a bite out of him. Off the skate now of Filppula, held by Suter, back for Diaz, works it in, shoots! Sateri makes the save, the puck sitting there, Ambule's got it back, tries to stuff it home, Sateri's down, the puck sitting there for a moment, and the Finnish netminder has it.
Down 2-0. Harry Sateri comes in relief of Jonas Korpisalo, and he hasn't had a misstep yet. A couple of his best stops were on Vincent Praplon, makes Praplon look to the roof. And this last one here, look at Ambule's gonna try and bank this off of his backside. He misses. And Harry Sateri's able to jump on the puck. Perfect through 21 shots.
Richard will take the face-off for the Swiss against Kemppainen. Kemppainen wins that cleanly. Ultima has it back. The Swiss have been vulnerable to short-handed goals. They've allowed 2 in the tournament. Untersander ahead for Hollenstein. In comes Hollenstein with it now, poked away by Hietinen. Now Hietinen wins that battle for the puck and sends it down. Giannone had to be careful there as the puck skipped in front of him. Under 2 to go now in the third period, 30 seconds to go in the Swiss power play. Hollenstein rings it around. Herzog waiting for it. Back of the line is Untersander. Drops it off for Richard, sends it back in front, just missed Praplin with that pass. Now glove down by Praplin, sends it rink wide. Working in is Richard. Final second of the power play, Untersander a long shot, that was blocked by Pierrella. Banked out by Filppula. 1 shot on goal for the Swiss on the power play. 80 seconds left here in the third period.
Excellent effort by the 35-year-old Mika Pierrella. A couple of really solid blocks on that penalty kill.
Löffel swings back for it. Final minute now, the third period. Janazzi for Löffel. That skips off the glass and out of play, and the face-off will be outside.
Sateri has been perfect for Lauri Marjamäki, as much of the tournament hasn't gone very smoothly for Marjamäki. He made a hole of Jonas Korpisalo tonight, but I got to get him out of there after 2 goals where Korpisalo probably misplayed them both, and he went to Sateri. It turned out to be a real good move, as Korpisalo can only watch now.
Switzerland has been past regulation 3 times in the tournament so far, Finland twice. Marty drops it back for Diaz. And Diaz banked it off Pierrella in it. Jonas Järvinen poking at it now. Picked up by Haas. Gaetan Haas centers it. That's knocked out by Aaltonen.
The Finns played this last minute to tie. They haven't had Rantanen on the ice or Filppula.
Now chipped in by Ruffinack. As Sateri's out to play it. And the Finns and Switzerland are going to overtime. They'll each get a point. 2-2 your score after 60 minutes.
Comme le score est égal après le temps réglementaire, une prolongation de 5 minutes avec le premier but marqué se jouera après la pause. As the score is tied after regular time, 5 minutes sudden victory. Overtime will follow after an intermission.
face of wall 7 speed en 4 minutes de pénalité des deux côtés.
140 meters an hour for the fastest pass, and 66 of the third period. 1 goal for Finland that shot on goal line for Finland at least 6 for Switzerland. Face off 1, quite close to Finland, 7 for Switzerland. Penalty minutes. And also 1:30 to go before the extra time. 5 minutes.
Welcome back to Paris. We welcome viewers who are watching the Sweden-Denmark game. Another win for Sweden there. Here, a 2-0 Swiss lead in the first period. But Finland came back with power play goals late in the first, and then another early in the third. 2-2 was our score. So both teams get a point, and now play for the extra one.
De jus à donner, toujours de la voix pour porter votre équipe. Ces 5 minutes sont capitales pour les deux
And a
équipes.
Finnish win in overtime or the shootout would eliminate France from contention for the quarterfinals. So both France and Norway cheering hard for Switzerland here in extra time. 8th time in the last 15 games of the World Championship that the Swiss have gone to OT. There's Löffel with it. Romain Löffel, 3-on-3 in OT for 5 minutes. If it's still tied, then it's a shootout for 3 rounds.
Yesterday, Fabrice Herzog scored in overtime against Canada.
In comes Ambuel. On Honka, puts it through his feet, but Honka stayed with him. Does that move still work?
No. You need a really immobile defenseman. There were a lot of those guys before, not so much anymore.
Honka works it back to Savanainen. Savanainen spins back. And Honka holds the line. Kainen scored the overtime winner for the Finns in their game against Norway. Special circumstances, he was coming out of the penalty box after serving someone else's penalty. In comes Malgin now. Malgin works in. Poke check there by Lehtinen.
Might as well shoot it. You're not going to get by the defense there.
Aho up ahead for Rantanen. Mikko Rantanen works in. Steps around Paplan. Still on it, Rantanen. Drops it back in the corner for Lehtinen. And Lehtinen has to retreat. Hollenstein almost with a steal, staying with Lehtinen step for step. Now steps into him in the corner. Lehtinen. Rink wide he goes for Pierala. In comes Pierala. Walks in, centers it. Oh, what a save by Giannone on the deflection as he takes it away from Rantanen.
Oh, Pierala had made 2 great blocks on that last couple-minute penalty kill. Here he slides this across to Rantanen. Beautiful feed across Rafael Diaz. Oh, it hits the goal post. Oh, that close to the Finns picking up 2 points.
Face off won by Kemppainen. Here's Honka with it. Julius Honka. Spins back in the corner. Honka. And again pivots back. Plays it around now. Pierala. Out across the top. Pierala. Hooks it down to Honka. He gets bumped there by Herzog, who has a goal tonight as well. Kemppainen with it. Drops it back in the point. Hietinen. Finns are changing now as Hietinen goes behind his back and drops it off to Savanainen. Savanainen. Works it in. Filppula walks right in. Score! Valtteri Filppula. Overtime winner. And the Finns score 3 unanswered to take it by a score of 3-2.
Complete flip of the script from last night. The Swiss were on the winning end yesterday. Down 2-0, pull the goalie, come back and win 3-2 in overtime. The Finns do it today. Harry Sateri was brilliant. Val Filppula comes off the bench after some excellent work cycling the puck by Juuso Hietinen. Hietinen gets the puck down to Savanainen, and here comes Filppula off the bench. Diaz can't react, there's a lane, and he beats Leonardo Giannoni to the post. Val Filppula's second goal of the tournament, and it's a nifty move through the 5-hole, and the Finns win in overtime.
And that result knocks France out of gold medal contention and puts Norway on the ropes with 2 days of competition left in the preliminary round of the World Hockey Championship. 3-2 Finland is your final, as the Finns come back from 2-0 down and win it in overtime.
Ladies and gentlemen, the last player of IIHF, each team will be awarded with the official match of the event, given by Tisa official timekeeper of the championships. Les montres sont remises par Monsieur Hans-Peter Strebel, représentant de la Fédération suisse de hockey sur glace, et Monsieur Harry Nomela, président de la Fédération finlandaise de hockey sur glace. Le meilleur joueur de l'équipe suisse, the best player for Switzerland, le numéro 16, Raphaël Diaz. Le meilleur joueur de l'équipe de Finlande, the best player for Finland, le numéro 29, 29, Harry Sateri. Merci de bien vouloir vous lever pour l'hymne national de la Finlande. Please rise for the national anthem of Finland.
Et oui, merci à toutes et à tous pour cette très belle ambiance. Une nouvelle fois à l'occasion de ce match où les Finlandais ont passé une marche. Ils sont revenus dans le rôle 4. Ils se relancent complètement pour une place de qualification. La Norvège qui rencontre le Canada, ce sera l'affiche d'ouverture pour le journal de match donc à 16h15.
Well, I guess there is a lion on your crest for a reason because you guys scratched and clawed to pull this off tonight. How was it possible that you were able to overcome the adversity to pull off the win?
Yeah, we didn't have a great start, so it was a great bounce back in the second period, and third period was our best. So great comeback and a huge win on overtime.
You were able to score the tying goal. What did you like about the chemistry of your line tonight?
Yeah, I think we can do a little bit better job in 5-on-5, but our power play was great tonight. We got 2 goals there, so but 5-on-5 we had chances to win the game in regulation, so we just have to keep improving.
I'm sure an adrenaline rush going into overtime. How did you see the play unfolding to capture the victory?
Yeah, it was. We had a good possession in their zone. We were there like a minute, and they were gassed. So we got new fresh legs on the ice, and great play by Phil Pula to get the winner.
Well, the 2 points keeps you alive now for that battle for the quarterfinals. Next up is Canada. What are you guys going to need to improve upon?
Yeah, we're gonna watch some video tomorrow and trying to get better and learn a little bit from Canada. But we have to think what we can do better. But I believe in this group, and we have a big game on Tuesday, so we have to be ready.
Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Introducing the 2017 IIHF.